So the next thing that we want to do is we want to drop in the music. So I'll come back and find some music. But what I want to do is I want to try and keep them organized. You can imagine if I just keep dropping lots and lots of files in here that this gets a little bit messy. So we can create folders. They call it bins in video sense. And that was literally because years ago they would have big bins that the footage would get dropped into. So this is going to be music. And if I now drop all of these files straight into music, means I can also tidy them up just by spinning this little arrow down. So we've got this one. I can play them. We've got this one. We've got this one. I'm actually thinking that that one will be a nice one to play us out at the end. We've got this one. I'm not sure we'll be using that one if I'm honest, but it's available. This one. I like that one. I like the atmosphere that one creates. We got one called Down for the Count. Maybe. And we've actually got two here. I don't need this one. So look at that. Yeah, well, we won't be using that one. The other thing that I want though is where we had the dance band. Let me have a look for that. Okay, make this a bit smaller. So where did that start? Let me listen to it from about here.
Years later, I had the chance to play piano in a dance band. Up to this point.
Okay, so it started it here, which is 125. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just mark what they call an in point. And this will allow me to then figure out how long a piece of music I need.
Up to this point, I'd only ever played classical music, and by now, I was only practicing occasionally, and even then reluctantly. It started out fine as the music that I had to play wasn't too difficult.
Okay, I want to go to the no, really.
I quickly folded my arms and said, "No!"
Okay, so that's where I want it to stop. If I create what's called an out point here, I can see that I need 1 minute and 32 of music. I'm actually going to make it fractionally longer than that. I'm probably going to make it 140 because I don't want it to necessarily end properly. So what I'm going to do, fire up Sonic Fire Pro. This is the application that we spoke about that allows you to create music of any length. So in here I have some big band music, Swing That Thing it's called, and we want 1 minute 40. So let's have a look at this. Let's try. We've got different variations, so I'm going to start with the initial one. It's a possibility. Let's try solos. Might be competing a little bit with the voiceover. Oh, a big swing. Oh, I like that because the piano is really standing out. Okay, let's What about at the end of it? Let's listen to the last few seconds. I think that one's going to work perfectly for us. So what we'll do is we'll export this. We'll export the complete soundtrack, digital video, 16-bit. One thing to note, by the way, if you adjust this volume level down here, it will export it quietly. I found that out to my cost in the past. So make sure that volume's right up before you hit export. Okay, so I'm just going to save that away. Don't need this anymore. So now I can actually go back and where is this? Here we go. I can drag this in as well. So there we go. I'm thinking at the moment that we'll probably start with this one. Let's try it again. Yeah, I like that one. I like the idea of that coming in as you're talking about somebody learning to play the piano. So we'll drop that in down here. So we'll have this right at the beginning. We probably won't have it all of the way in though. I mean, certainly by here we want to be introducing the big band. So let's just get a rough idea of how it works. Bear in mind the levels are going to be out at the moment.
Whether you've never played a piano in your life and want to learn, or whether you've had some lessons being frustrated by your lack of progress.
You know what? It doesn't work. So even though it's a beautiful piece of music, it's just not right for our video here. So we'll get rid of that one. Let's have a look at one of the others. What about this? Maybe. How about this one? No. That one might work. Let's try that. Okay, I'll keep the volume down while we listen to it.
Picture yourself 12 months from now entertaining a group of your friends around the piano that you're playing like a maestro. Whether you've never played a piano in your life and want to learn, or whether you've had some lessons but been frustrated by your lack of progress, you're in the right place. And in this video, I'll share with you one secret that all professional musicians know, yet is never taught.
Maybe. Let's just try one more. This one maybe? No, not that one. I wonder. I'm going to try this one, Fortunate Day, see which one works best.
Picture yourself 12 months from now entertaining a group of your friends around.
No, doesn't work. So we'll stick with the dance.
Picture yourself 12 months from now entertaining a group of your friends around the piano.
Yeah, that works nicely. So round about here, you can see it's still marked. Round about here, we want to be changing over to the band. So let's just zoom in a little bit and listen to this.
Don't get me wrong, I had a great teacher. That way of learning just didn't do it for me. Years later.
Okay, so I want to be fading out over that section. So here.
Don't get me wrong, I had a great teacher. That way of learning just didn't do it for me.
Okay, I want to be stopped by that point there, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten this to that point, literally to there. And then I'm going to come over to my effects over here on the left, where I have audio transitions and crossfades. And what I want to do is to take the default one. The default one is highlighted in red. We drag that onto here, and if I zoom in, you'll see it. It's added a little section on there, but it's fairly short, so this fade will be not very subtle. See, it just stops. What I actually want to do is to fade it out over all of that speaking there. So let's listen to this now.
Don't get me wrong, I had a great teacher. That way of learning just didn't do it for me. Years later, I had the chance to play piano in a dance band.
Okay, and that's where I want the dance to come in. So we'll drop that straight in here. And I actually want it to come in as soon as I've said dance band, bang, straight in. So if we just open this up, we can actually see where the first notes are. Let's listen to this.
Years later, I had the chance to play piano in a dance band. Up to this point, I'd only ever played.
Okay, I want it a little bit closer. I want literally, as I say band, those chords to strike up. Make it a little bit bigger so we can see it. And let's try this.
Years later, I had the chance to play piano in a dance band. Up to this point, I'd only ever played classic.
That works. And I actually want to put a sound effect at the end. There's all kinds of places. You need to spend a bit of time Googling for sound effects. I've got somewhere a record scratch, and that's how I want to finish this, where I say no. Let's have a look here. So I'm saying no about here. So record scratch. I drag this in. I don't want to put it in music because it isn't music, so I'll just put it straight in the project folder. See what it sounds like. Okay. So where do I want that to happen? I want it to happen as I say no. So again, we'll zoom in.
I quickly folded my arms and said, no!
So that's where I'm starting to say no. You can actually see from the waveform.
No!
Okay, that's the waveform. So we literally want to cut off the music at that point. And we want the record scratch to come in there as well. Now this is an interesting one because if we zoom in, we can see the record scratch doesn't even start at the beginning. So what I'll do is I'll bring that back a little bit. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's make it a bit cleaner. We're going to start another track just for that. Make it a bit easier to see it all. And now we want this one to start as that stops. Looks about right. So I'm going to start naming these tracks as well. This is music. And this SFX stands for sound effects. So let's just listen to that with the volume set as it is at the moment.
She would react. I quickly folded my arms and said, no!
It's a little bit loud, but you get the idea. Okay, so I'm just going to reset my... Well, actually, let me just save everything. And then we will... A lot of these packages have got something called a workspace. And if you reset your workspace, it just puts everything back where it should be. Gives you a nice layout again. So let's move on a little bit and see where we go next with the music.
Luckily, the guitarist jumped in and no one in the audience noticed. But I had promised myself at that moment that nothing like this would ever happen again. From that day forward, I focused my efforts.
Okay. So from that day forward, I want to come in with some nicer music. How about this one? No, not that one. Not that one. No. No. Oh, maybe this one then. Not sure. Let's try it.
Promised myself at that moment that nothing like this would ever happen again. From that day forward, I focused my efforts on two things.
Okay, yeah, I like it. It just needs to come in a little bit sooner.
And again.
Okay, it needs to be coming in there.
At that moment, that nothing like this would ever happen again. From that day forward, I focused my efforts.
Could still come in fractionally sooner. Maybe a bit too much there. Let's try it.
Like this would ever happen again. From that day forward,
And a lot of this is the music. It's not an exact science. It really is what sounds right, and you'll hear it. Something doesn't sound right, you'll hear that it just isn't right. And if you're not sure what it is, just turn the music off, just hit mute. Let me show you.
this would ever happen again. From that,
You just hit mute there.
that day forward, I focused my efforts.
It just doesn't play. Try and turn it on again.
Two things.
Okay, so every software package that you work with will have a mute of some description, and it's simply a case of turning it on. And if you turn that mute on, so get rid of the sound, you'll be able to figure out very quickly whether it's the music that's causing problems. So let's make this smaller again, see how far this goes. This does get louder, so we'll go towards a loud part.
This is because I learned these secrets to making the piano sound good, even when I'm doing something quite simple and straightforward. So here I am, after 30 years of playing piano, wishing there'd been an easier way to learn with.
Okay. I actually do like this. I'm quite happy for it to go on for a while. Let's have a look where we go.
You enjoy the learning experience. Don't take my word for it though. In a moment I'm going to show you. Chords? Well, I've put together a free gift for you.
Maybe I want to go back a bit. Okay, so we're talking about exciting and we've got really laid back music. It doesn't work for me there. So we need to get rid of this before then. So let's find somewhere where it works. Okay, I think we want to stop it here. Want to be stopped by there, I think. Let's listen.
So that you enjoy the learning experience. Don't take my word for it though.
Enjoy the learning experience. I want to have finished by then. Okay, so same as last time. We shorten it to where we want it. We go to our effects. We add on the effect. And I'm going to drag it out to about here. See what that sounds like.
Just like I did. Best of all, this revolutionary training method makes learning fun by letting you learn to play using music that you like so that you enjoy the learning experience. Don't take my word for it though. In a moment, I'm going to show you how you can get 6 introductory lessons absolutely free so you can see for yourself how powerful this training can be.
Is that a good place to start?
Before I tell you though.
Yes, it is. Before. Okay, so we have another one that's, I think this one. What's this one? Yeah, let's go for that one. Okay, let's try this.
Absolutely free, so you can see for yourself how powerful this training can be. Before I tell you though, I've got something else for you. Remember, I told you that professional musicians all rely on knowing a basic set of chords?
That's working for me. Now this does actually go on a long way, as you can see. So I'm going to use a slightly different technique here. Because I'm thinking I want to potentially transition to this one, although maybe not. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we transition to that one. Let's have a look. Where are we?
You'll then have the opportunity to claim your 6 free lessons and discover just how easy it can be for you to learn to play the piano. Go now, www.youcanlearnpianoonline.com.
Yeah, so before we get to that, that's where we want to stop this music.
Free lessons and discover just how easy it can be for you to learn to play the piano.
Okay, so I want to stop it there. Preferably, can you hear how it just started a new phrase? I'd like to stop it before that.
And discover just how easy it can be for you to learn to play the piano.
Maybe not. Let's stop it there. So what I'm going to do this time is we have what we call a razor tool. I'm actually just going to cut it there, select that one and delete it. Okay, rather than trying to drag in the whole end of it. Put this on here and bring it out to there. So let's try that.
See the free gift. I'll send it to you straight away. You'll then have the opportunity to claim your 6 free lessons and discover just how easy it could be for you to learn to play the piano. Go now.
Okay, so as go now is said, I want to start this one. Let's just zoom that in. I want it to be pretty accurate there. Let's try this.
Opportunity to claim your 6 free lessons and discover just how easy it could be for you to learn to play the piano. Go now, www.youcanlearnpianoonline.com. I look forward to welcoming a future maestro.
Okay. What I'd probably do, because it's got quite a long intro there, is maybe start that a little bit earlier. So let's just move this. Yeah, maybe as we go onto that new screen, let's have a look.
Go now to www.
Yeah, let's finish that one there. Bring this one in. Start it where we say go now.
Go now. Go now to www. Go now to www.youcanlearnpianoonline.com and enter your name and the best email address for you to receive the free gift, and I'll send it to you straight away. You'll then have the opportunity to claim your 6 free lessons and discover just how easy it could be for you to learn to play the piano. Go now to www.youcanlearnpianoonline.com. I look forward to welcoming a future maestro.
Okay, so we need to just get rid of that end. If I remember rightly, we have a bit more video here we can play with. What I have to do, remember we linked them at the beginning? If I just unlink them for a moment, there's not much there. Okay, we won't worry about that then. Okay, so if I link these, no, I did link them again. Okay, so they're linked, so there's no video there to really worth bothering with. I could just take a copy of this bit here and just stick it on the end to lengthen it if I want to, but it doesn't really matter. Bring this in so it finishes at the same point, and we need to fade it out. So that's where I want it to fade out. Okay, so come on. We go and zoom in a little bit. Literally as we go into that last phrase there. So let's try this.
You'll then have the opportunity to claim your 6 free lessons and discover just how easy it could be for you to learn to play the piano. Go now, www.youcanlearnpianoonline.com. I look forward to welcoming a future maestro.
Okay, so that fades out quite nicely at the end.